He had wealth, power, and the admiration of all, but pride destroyed everything. This is the story of Obi, Nneka, and Uche, a tale of betrayal, endurance, and the victory of love over pride. In the village of Oma, in the heart of southeastern Nigeria, there lived a man named Obi. He was tall, dark, and handsome, with a smile that could brighten a market square. But more than that, he was the wealthiest farmer in the land. His young barns stood like towers, his farmlands stretched far into the horizon, and his herds of goats and cows grazed freely. Wherever he went, villagers whispered about his riches, and maidens dreamed of becoming his wife. When it was time to marry, Obi's choice surprised many. He was not swayed by wealth or titles but by the beauty of a maiden named Nneka. She was tall, fair, and graceful, her eyes soft with kindness and her smile gentle as moonlight. Their union became the pride of Oma. Villagers sang songs of their love, maidens sighed with envy, and elders blessed the young couple. Soon, joy blossomed into fruit. A year later, Nneka gave birth to a son, Uche. Elders declared, "The apple never falls far from the tree." For 5 years, their home was filled with laughter, warmth, and peace. But happiness is sometimes a fleeting guest. When Nneka could no longer conceive, cracks began to appear. Obi's once warm words turned sharp. He scolded her in public, shaming her before neighbors. "You have failed me," he said bitterly. "What use is a wife who gives me only one child?" Nneka wept. She knelt before him, pleading, "Obi, please, let us trust the gods. Let us not destroy what we built." But her pleas fell on deaf ears. Obi's heart had turned to stone, and his eyes wandered elsewhere. One evening, as Nneka sat in front of her hut with her chin on her palm, lost in thought, Obi returned with words that crushed her spirit. "I am taking another wife," he declared coldly. "Her name is Amanda. She will bear me the children you cannot." The world spun before Nneka's eyes. She fell at his feet, clinging to his legs, tears streaming. "Please, do not make me a laughing stock in this village. Do not shame me before the maidens of Oma." But Obi pulled himself away. "Stay if you wish, leave if you must. My decision is final." Soon after, Amanda entered the compound, a tall, striking woman with the figure of a model. Obi smiled with pride as villagers gossiped at the gates. From that day, Nneka's life became bitter. She was treated like a servant, ordered to fetch water, cook, farm, and wash. Amanda mocked her openly, "A wife who can only bear one child is of little value." Nneka endured humiliation upon humiliation, whispering prayers to the gods as villagers whispered about her. Then came the day of deepest sorrow. Returning from the market with her basket, she found her belongings outside her hut. Obi stood with Amanda, sneering. "Take your child and leave," he barked. Her son, little Uche, clung to her wrapper in fear. With tears streaming, Nneka begged, reminding Obi that she had no family left. But Amanda only laughed, and Obi's face remained cold. With nowhere else to turn, Nneka gathered her son and returned to her late parents' hut, abandoned but still standing. There, she rebuilt her life from ashes. She swept, mended, until the little land her parents had left. Uche grew, bright and determined. From his earliest years, he would say, "Mama, I will be a doctor one day." His words were like light in her darkness. But poverty cast heavy shadows. After secondary school, there was no money for university. Night after night, Nneka wept, asking the gods for mercy. At last, she made a painful decision, to sell the only piece of land her parents had left. With part of the money, she paid for her son's first years in university. With the rest, she started frying akara by the roadside, supporting the little provision store she built. Fortune finally smiled. In his second year, Uche won a federal scholarship. From that moment, blessings flowed. He graduated with honors, earned another scholarship abroad, and rose to become one of the best neurosurgeons in the United States. With pride, he took his mother with him. Together they lived a life of dignity and peace. Nneka, once mocked, now played joyfully with her grandchildren in the spacious backyard of their home in America. But time has a way of turning tables. 10 years later, a call came from Oma. "Your father is suffering," said a villager named Ola. "He had an accident and broke his spine. Amanda abandoned him. He has no one else. He begs for forgiveness." Reluctantly, Nneka and Uche returned. Villagers whispered of Amanda's cruelty and desertion. At last, they entered Obi's hut. Once proud, he now lay frail on a bamboo bed, his wealth gone, his body wasted. Tears rolled down his face. "Nneka, Uche, forgive me. My pride destroyed me. I wronged you." Memories of pain flooded Nneka, but her son placed a hand on her shoulder. Together, they forgave him. Plans were made to take him abroad for treatment. Uche, now a celebrated surgeon, prepared to heal the father who once cast him aside. But fate would not be undone. 2 days before his visa was approved, Obi breathed his last. The man who once had everything lost it all, not by the hand of others, but by the weight of his own pride. Moral of the story. In life, wealth may fill barns, but it cannot fill an empty heart. Pride may raise a man high, but it is humility that keeps him standing. The seed of endurance, when nurtured with love, will grow into a mighty harvest. The yam that boasts in the barn may rot away, but the small seed tended with patience becomes a forest.